Hi everybody, my name's Samantha Fox. Don't you go anywhere because Profiles is coming right up.
Welcome to Profiles. I'm Morgan Thompson. Today's guest is former glamour model and British recording artist Samantha Fox. At 16 years old, Fox began her modeling career and became England's most popular pinup girl of all time. In 1986, Fox launched her music career with her debut single, Touch Me, which became a #1 hit in 17 countries. Since then, she has sold over 30 million albums worldwide. After a short break, we'll join our host, Mickey Burns, as he welcomes the beautiful Samantha Fox to Profiles. Welcome back to Profiles. I'm Morgan Thompson. Although she started out as a model, back in the 80s, Samantha Fox was one of pop music's top performers, filling 30,000-seat arenas around the world. Not since the Beatles has a British personality been so well known internationally. Back then, Samantha Fox was known as the most photographed British star, alongside Princess Diana. Today, Fox is ranked number 81 in VH1's Sexiest Artists of All Time. So let's join our host, Mickey Burns, on location from the Iroquois Hotel in the heart of New York City, as he welcomes Samantha Fox to Profiles.
Samantha Fox, welcome to our show Profiles.
Thank you, Mickey. It's great to be here.
And it's really a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
And for our viewers, you are a former glamour model. We'll talk about what that means. And also, you're a British recording artist with a tremendous body of work. Welcome to New York, by the way.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back. I've not been to New York for about 10 years, so
really,
it's fabulous to be back here. Just the bars, the feel of it. And the fans are going crazy on my Facebook. Like, I can't believe I'm coming. I'm back there.
You know, your fan base is still loyal,
Yeah.
and they're still out there.
They are, yeah. No, good thing is amazing that I don't think I'd still be sitting here today if it weren't for my fans. They are really loyal. They stick by me through thick and thin, you know.
Yeah, and it's great to see you got rid of your British accent.
I have not.
I'm
You are
only
joking,
kidding.
aren't you?
I'm joking, yes I was.
Right, that's okay then. Because yesterday I went out and I had a baseball cap on and a few people recognised me. And it wasn't until I spoke in a couple of shops.
Of course.
Then it was like, you really sound like Sam Fox, because it's quite distinctive, my accent, isn't it?
It's great. It's
you.
great. Now, for our viewers, when you were 20 years old, you released Touch Me, which became a #1 hit. I was surprised to read in 15 countries. That's a lot of success right out of the box.
Yeah, no, it was amazing because it was released and it just it went to like #1 in 15 countries and top 3 in the rest of the world, and like overnight I just become an international star so young.
Sure did.
Then I came to live in my dream was to break the States.
Yes.
So I came to live here when I was like 21. I lived in New York City for like a year and a half.
Now other hits would follow. That wasn't your only. You had many hits, and you would eventually sell over, correct me if I'm wrong, 30 million records worldwide.
Yes, around 30 million by now, yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
wow. And while this was going on, you were taking your live act to 30,000-seat arenas around the world.
That's right.
What are your best memories of those mega tours?
Well, my first mega tour was the States.
Was it?
Yeah, I came to live here and my musical director came to live in Albany at first.
Okay.
And I contacted John when I first came to live in New York, and I was like, we've got to get a band together, you've got to help me. So we auditioned, it was half English, half American, the band.
Yeah.
And I was able to pick my own tour bus. And I remember my tour manager showing me lots and lots of pictures, and the Guns N' Roses one was the one I really wanted. It was just mental colours, and it had a beautiful bedroom, and all the boys were like moaning because they had the bunk beds, and I'm like, I'm okay, I've got a TV and a double bed. And then we toured, literally the first tour was the States for 6 months.
That was the first?
That was the first tour, and then we went on to Asia and Europe.
Yeah, in the 80s, your tour took you to Malaysia, took you to Singapore, took you to Korea, but you also performed in Bosnia, Russia, and Siberia.
I still do.
Yeah, and most would say that's not your normal tour stops.
I'm not normal.
Yeah. Why did you do so? Why did you pick those places to go?
I think South America was probably the most scariest.
Really? Why so?
Well, it wasn't long after there was a lot of corruption going on at the time. There was a lot of kidnapping going on of Westerners at that time. I just loved playing places where people wouldn't expect me to play. Then after South America, I went to war-torn Bosnia, where a lot of people were my fans, and the Lebanon, and that's probably why I do go around the world and do these sort of shows, because not a lot of big artists do it, and it's not fair to these people who are your fans, and they don't get to see their idols. So I like to go to places which are a little bit dangerous, but hey-ho, you can get run over tomorrow, can't you? You know, that's life.
Yeah, Sam, quickly tell us about the music video that you did of a Deborah Harry song that really is making a second comeback all over the world. Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, it's going really well. It's a song that I cover called Call Me, which is a great Blondie classic.
Sure was.
And that idea came because this day and age, all people do is tend to text, tweet. No one seems to talk on the phone anymore.
Isn't it the truth?
That's when I decided, there were so many of the songs that I loved, like Heart of Glass, Atomic.
Yes.
I couldn't decide, and then Call Me was another favourite, and I thought, no, I'm going to do Call Me, because nobody calls each other anymore.
It's all text, it's all emails.
There's nothing, you can't beat a good conversation on the telephone, and people just don't seem to do it so much anymore.
Now let's backtrack just a little bit for our fans who may not be that familiar with Samantha Fox, because you were already a celebrity in Britain way before you launched your recording career, true?
Yeah, I was a glamour model for like 4 years.
You sure were, and
From
famous.
16 until I was 20.
You're very modest, because between 16 and 18, you became the most popular page 3 pinup girl of all time in Britain. Now, I know for those here in the States not that familiar with what that means, explain to us the extent of the popularity of what a page 3 pinup is across the pond.
I used to get asked this all the time when I first came here. I'd say it's the page after 2. It's a great British institution. It's a daily newspaper which is read by families. It's not no top shelf stuff.
Right.
And it's a pretty girl with a good pair of boobs.
Yeah.
Who basically is on page 3 every morning, and people have their cup of tea in the morning and they open their paper, there you are, and you hope to brighten up their day. It's just something very British, and it's still going strong today.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's also very lucrative if you're one of the top people.
Well, yeah, it was very lucrative because I had a 4-year contract with The Sun.
You sure did.
Which I was the only girl to have.
Yeah. Were you the only one that had a contract like that?
That's right, yeah.
I didn't know that.
They didn't want me to post for any other newspaper or magazine. So I was just their girl, you know.
And you left school to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Now, another fact is you were also the youngest person ever to appear as a page 3 pinup, right? Do you think that you might have been a bit young at 16, or is it just different in Britain?
Well, no, I think it depends on the person. There's immature people, there's mature people. There's people who are young for their age. I went to stage school from the age of 5, where I used to sing, dance, act. So I was mixing with adults from a very young age.
Yes.
So it all depends on the person, and again, as I say, there's a thin line you just don't cross with. There were certain modelling jobs I would never do, and certain modelling jobs I would do. I was never what you call tacky. It was always very classy. Because I was signed to The Sun, I used to copyright and have approval of all my pictures. My dad was my manager. My mum was like my stylist.
Sure.
But no regrets either.
Really, no regrets. You look back and say you're glad you did it.
Definitely, definitely. To become the best known ever page 3 girl in the world, it's better than doing 1 or 2 topless pictures, which a lot of stars have done.
Yes.
And then live to regret it and go, oh, I did it because I needed the money and I wanted to get somewhere. No, this was a 4-year career, you know.
At one point, I did read something where you insured your breasts for $500,000.
Well, at the time when I was signed to The Sun for the 4 years, obviously it was a very lucrative deal that I had.
Yeah.
And they didn't want any damage to happen to them.
And it was for how much?
$1 million, $500,000 each.
Is that true?
All I ever used to get was, I've never held $1 million. Do you mind if I hold $1 million? I go, no, you can't.